So, I'm a Canadian citizen and I recently got spammed by MAGA voter emails, which is really weird because I have no authority to vote in US elections. I'm not sure exactly how I got on that list. It's possible they may have bought an email list and my email happened to be on it and they weren't being careful about who they were emailing. But anyway, I got these emails and I'm gonna share one of them with you, which actually does refer to me as a America First supporter and a voter. And I'm gonna share with you how I got out of this mess in case if anyone has the same problem. If don't have the authority to vote in elections and you're getting these, you'll know how to get out of them. I think it's important we do because we don't want them having our information, because they have questionable legal practices and you don't know what they're going to be doing with that information. So it all started on September 12th this year. I started getting the emails. They are from GOP House Representative Elise Stefanik and her team, because there seems to be several people that use that email and send email through that email that I'm getting messages from. And I did make sure that this isn't a scammer trying to pretend they're from MAGA or GOP people or anything like that. I've checked the email header to make sure that it was coming from a legit email address. I found the email in there and Googled it. It is on official government archives, so it's an official email. And through the email header, I also found out that it was being sent through Nation Builder software, and this is software political parties in the US use to send out communications to voters and supporters, and they collect donations through there, so everything looked pretty legit. So I found an email for the privacy team of Nation Builder, and I got in contact with them to confirm this and have them remove my information. And so here is the email I sent to them. Hello, Nation Builder Privacy Team. I am a Canadian citizen and recently began receiving unsolicited political emails from team@stefanik-emails.com, which your service appears to host based on information in the email header. I have never subscribed to this campaign or any related lists, and I am not a U.S. voter, nor am I eligible to vote. The emails refer to me as a voter and America First supporter, which raises serious concerns that my email address may have been obtained or classified incorrectly. Under applicable privacy laws, I request confirmation of whether my email address is in your system, the source from which it was obtained if known, immediate removal of my email address from all associated mailing lists. For reference, I'm attaching an example of one of the emails that refers to me as a voter, as well as the full email header. Thank you for your prompt attention to this matter. And I signed it. I got a reply back confirming that yes, I was on their email lists, and here is that. I'm following up on your email. Your email address is in several accounts that belong to Elise Stefanik. And yes, we are the software provider that she uses to run her campaign. We can confirm that your email address is in all of her accounts. However, we would not know where she obtained your information. Although the .ca should give them a clue not to send you emails. It's possible that she bought lists that you somehow were included in, but I'm just speculating. I am following up with our team on how your email can be removed from the Elise Stefanik account. However, I suggest that you also contact her campaign directly to request deletion. When I have more information, I will let you know. So if I look a bit different here, it's because I'm recording this clip on a different day. I want to make it very clear that Nation Builder had nothing to do with this. Been great about getting my information off Elise Stefanik's email lists. And there were several of them. I was on all of them. And I'm no longer on there, which is great. Oh. Like, I can understand it being a mistake if I'm on one of them and it's just errors, but to be on several email lists, and these were all for the same purpose, according to what Nation Builder said. I guess we're reaching out to voters and blah blah blah. And so, yeah, I don't understand why you'd even need several. Isn't one enough? I'm going to show you one of the emails where it was referred to America First supporter and a voter, and yeah, here's that. His subject line for this one is confirming your plan to vote, and it's coming from Kellyanne Conway. Teresa, last month I wrote to you to warn you about the looming partisan intensity gap that could cost Republicans the midterm elections. So far in 2025, Republicans have averaged just 45% of President Trump's vote totals, while the Democrats have averaged 63% of Kamala Harris's. If that holds true for the midterms, Republicans won't just lose the House majority. We'd lose in a historic landslide. Now, I don't want to fully sound the alarm just yet. There are a lot of reasons to believe that gap won't hold true when voters go to the polls next November. But voter complacency is undoubtedly the single biggest threat to President Trump's House majority, and therefore his America First agenda. Given what we're seeing in special election results, I wanted to personally follow up with you to ensure that your voter records are fully verified. Remember, simply verifying voters isn't enough. We need to verify the Trump voters who will also show up in the midterms to help save his House majority. Are you one of those voters, Teresa? No, I'm afraid you're gravely mistaken. If so, please take just a minute to verify your voter profile and show that you are among the most active voters so that we can close the troubling partisan intensity gap. And that part is actually a link that leads to a survey. Okay, here's a box at the bottom and it has some text in it. Official 2025 GOP Voter Verification Survey Scope. Measuring voter intensity. And then it says participant, my email address, survey ID, bunch of numbers, likelihood to vote unknown, status incomplete, and a red button at the bottom, verify your records. And under that it says thank you, a picture, and Kellyanne Conway. Underneath that is a forwarded message from Kellyanne Conway again, dated Friday, July 24th, 2025, and that's months before I started seeing these. And the subject is, my only commitment is to the truth, and it's to my email address again. Teresa, As the former Trump campaign manager, I was relentlessly attacked on live TV for predicting that President Trump would win the White House. But I didn't care, because my commitment will always be to the truth. I will always follow the numbers no matter what. That's why I sincerely hope you take what I'm about to tell you very seriously. And no, I promise you it's not just another report on the Democrats' sky-high fundraising numbers. It's about real polling, real data, and a real trend that could become a big problem if it's not addressed immediately. From Cook Political Report, Republicans just can't count on Trump's more peripherally engaged voters to show up when Trump isn't on the ballot. So far in 2025, the partisan intensity gap looks awfully similar to the one at this point in 2017. Across two House special elections, Democrats have been averaging 63% of Harris's 2024 vote totals, while Republicans have been averaging just 45% of Trump's. If that pattern were extrapolated across all 435 districts next fall, Democrats would win a whopping 279 seats, 61 more than they need for a majority. I think we can let out a collective sigh of relief that Rep. Elise Stefanik chose to withdraw her nomination for UN ambassador so as not to trigger yet another House special election. Not only that, as House GOP leadership chair, Elise has been working hard to make sure our voter file is up to date, including information that shouldn't be there, in the case of my email. But now we need to slightly change course. It's no longer just about simply verifying voters. It's about verifying which voters we can truly count on to show up. It's about verifying that the Trump voters who show up in presidential years also show up in the midterms to save the House. It's about closing the partisan intensity gap. Because if we do not, Democrats will have a 279-seat House majority. I cannot even begin to fathom what that would look like. So please verify your voter profile and show that you are among the most active voters so that we can close the very troubling partisan intensity gap. And that's another link to the same survey from before. There's this box like before with the title of the survey and the participant linking my email and that sort of stuff. And then she said thank you, and you get her picture again, and she signed it. And that was one of many emails. They were absolutely spamming me. From the wording in a lot of those emails, it sounds like they're completely panicked that they're going to lose the midterm elections. There's a lot of wild claims about the Democrats. And just, completely immature behavior, which seems to be typical of the Republicans, in my opinion. But, that's what happened. So if you are getting these and you're not a US voter, you don't have anything to do with the US elections, and you want to get rid of this, get your information out of their files, I'm going to include that information below. Okay? So I would share more of the emails with you, but I'm not sure what the legality of that is. If I find out that it's okay to share, and if anyone's interested, I can read some more for you. So, thanks for watching, and share this out in case anyone's going through this, because it's weird and it's just not cool.